right now. Yo, oh yeah. That's lovely. Thank you ever so much, Snow Toad. Alex said you gifted 5 memberships. Thank you ever so
Before the
much.
stream even started.
I know,
Like, that's
man.
just unprecedented
That's
snow toading.
You wouldn't believe the amount of DMs I got about the show not being on. And I think maybe I made a rod for mine back because every week I was like, hey, look at us. It's like the fourth show, the fifth show. You know what I mean? So I made it worse, I think. But everyone's been so busy here, and everyone on this particular podcast is, I think, very important to VR in one way or another. So, and you guys have all been seeing each other. I think all of you have seen each other, and you, I think, is it Roots maybe and Alex? Are the only two?
I'm the only one that's out. I
Roots and I haven't
here.
seen each other, and I haven't seen GT. Which
I've lived through the story though of somebody seeing you in the airport, Alex, and getting excited. I've vicariously lived through that story a couple times.
In the airport?
Who's
yeah,
that
I thought
with?
it was at the airport.
Who's that with?
I could have sworn that was a story. Alex is like, oh no, I don't remember that.
Who did he meet?
I mean,
who did he meet?
Yeah, who are you talking about? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, I don't remember. Somebody said they saw you and you ran up and then you left. And so
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about, Roots. I saw the guys from Rendered Reality at the airport.
Oh, okay, yeah. So no, never mind. Forget it, Alex. You're out. The Rendered Reality's in.
Okay, well,
And screw those Rendered Reality guys anyway.
So I literally just ran up behind them, and,
There you go.
smacked them on the shoulder, and then ran away.
That was the completely wrong person with the wrong story.
Yes. But it was
But
interesting,
meeting me is amazing. All right, just
That's what I
for
have
the
heard.
record. Okay.
I hung out with Alex at an airport, so there was a moment where I was thinking, it could be me. I don't know. It felt like a lottery going on. I guess I need to introduce everyone. Who should we start with? We should start with Eric Mash, because I normally leave him to last for some reason, from QTC Gamer. How you doing, dude?
What's going on, fellas? This feels weird, man. It feels like it's been way too freaking long, man.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? It's been 2 weeks, but it does.
It is. I told Steve, I'm like, do you even remember how to do a podcast? When was the last? I think the last podcast he was on was this one.
Yep. It's been a minute.
Crazy.
You done yours though, Eric, last week, didn't you? Or a couple?
I did, just because I needed to give the freaking PlayStation VR 2 away. I probably would have done it if I didn't have to do that, but I've been putting it off way too long.
Was that the second one that you ordered?
It was. It was the one I screwed up and ordered.
Nice, man. Nice. Next up, we've got from Between Realities, Alex VR and Skiva. How you doing, boys? You good?
Fantastic. So good. Just doing the VR tour around the States.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Yeah. So where are you now, Skiva?
Right now, we are in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Amusement Expo, where all of the big venues go to find like the next thing, like Disney World and like Dave and Buster's and all the big places. They all want to find like the next thing to entertain their people. And it's almost all VR.
That sounds amazing. What is it? Is it so? Let me get that straight. Is it just so happens because that's the latest tech that it's VR, or is it a VR focused amusement?
No, I think it is. I think it's because VR is the newest, greatest thing that's entertaining people, right? Location-based VR is still going somewhat strong. VR arcades, things like Sandbox VR and the Return of the Void, and there's VR attractions at Disney, at every Dave and Buster's, at all of the big amusement places. So there's a lot of VR happening. So it's Amusement Expo right now. Just 2 days ago, we were over at GDC in San Francisco. Before that, we were at the Ghost of Tabor launch party in Orlando, Florida. And right before that, we were at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Wow. And I can't wait to go home.
Seriously, I haven't seen my home since March 9th.
Oh, dude. I thought you came back. Did you go out with was you not out with your wife the other day? Was that an old picture?
She came here. She met me in Vegas.
Oh,
so I flew into Vegas on Saturday from San Francisco, and she flew in just for, she's here now. She's leaving tonight just for a couple of days, and we hung out, went to see Maroon 5 in concert.
Nice. Did she bring the PSVR 2 with her?
I did. I told her, look, I don't have any time for you. I need to play Switchback. No, wait, Switchback is shit. Never mind.
That's blurry. It's too blurry, man.
It's too blurry. It is very blurry. The Mura is mental.
I'll have to take your guys' word for it because I still haven't had a chance to play it.
That's crazy.
Man, I tell you what, it's been a real crazy week actually. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I thought you met your wife. I saw her on Facebook, and I was like, did he go home and then have a meal and then go back? And
See it.
that's amazing, dude. That is so nice.
I went home for about 12 hours.
Mm.
And during that 12 hours, I literally played Switchback and I went to sleep and I got up and I left for Vegas.
Wow.
What did you think
That's
of Switchback?
insane.
What did you think of Switchback?
I thought it was a lot of fun. From what I've played so far, I still prefer Rush of Blood.
I think Rush of
But-
Blood's still the better game. But
Yeah, but
in
it's
its
still
entirety.
a blast. You know, it's
Yeah.
really cool. I like all the different paths you can take. I like all the different little challenge things all over the place that you can shoot and you know, bring your score up. And it's good so far. It's good. I'll know more once I get through all the levels.
I watched a podcast the other day, and it had Mateo on it, and he was on is it Virtual Boys, which is Shughead Gaming and the VR Grid Ryan. I do apologize. I've not had hardly any sleep because I'm trying to get things done. And it was weird. They described a game that I did not play. Shughead and Ryan. They had a terrible experience with Switchback, but he had a really good experience with Switchback, and I was just like, how can this be? It's impossible. Surely, if you have PCs involved, I would understand that there's differences involved, but they would literally describe in two different games. But let me get my introductions out of the way. Next up, we've got Sadly Bradley. How's it going, man? Do you ever take that thing off your head?
He's muted.
He is muted.
I'm very professional. No, and it's kind of a problem recently. Actually, like I'm getting in arguments with my wife. She wants me out of VR. I can't get out. Help me.
You're not technically in VR though at the moment, are you? You're just sort of like.
No, I'm not. But literally, if I was not here, I'd be here. You know. So
You're an inch and a half away at all times, right?
I
That's a
am.
problem.
Yeah, just one flip of a switch, right?
You know who else loves that you're inch and a half away?
We haven't got it.
Okay.
I don't know if Bruce has got it.
2 inches.
It was a stretch. It's a stretch. I thought
inches
about
away?
it, but I was like,
Sorry, I was
4
reading the
inches
chat.
away, Alex. Are you 4 inches away, Alex?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
you
that's more
less?
like it.
4 inches would be a stretch, by the way.
I love
Oh,
that. I
God.
love that, Brad. At any situation you think is really shit, you can just go, I'm not interested. Pull it down. What do you think of that headset? Really? Do you love it?
I don't use my index anymore. And I mean it. I've been putting so much hours into VR. It's like it's made me question even more what platform holders should run this technology, because if they have control of people's time, like this headset is making me go into a certain platform every week, it could be dangerous. Smiley face. So yeah.
Damn, and this is like
Wow.
basically, I'm assuming it's primarily because of the form factor here, right? It's just like light and that's it. That's enough. That's all it took.
Yeah, like, you know, for me, VR chat for me is already a killer app, right? Like I can go back to it for hours and hours and hours. But you know, after the 2-hour mark, my last headset, you know, your neck starts hurting. It's not comfortable after time. You're kind of given a reason to get out, right? Just from comfort alone.
True.
And I've always believed that hardware was one of those huge, just absolutely huge retention problems for the medium, right? Like things don't look real, things don't look natural, but also it's just uncomfortable when things start to look more real in a certain way. This headset's a very good step for me where I just like, I don't have that reason to get out of VR. Like, honestly, like I go in like 6 hours later, I'm like, oh my God, I skipped like 2 meals today. Cause I just, yeah,
Wow.
it's wild. It's really, yeah.
So that is now your favorite headset.
It's got a lot of problems still, but it's my favorite headset for sure.
I think
I
it's-
won't use anything else.
It's such a cool looking headset. It really is. Like if you was at school and you was drawing like really cool cars or really cool VR headsets, I think you'd come up with the big screen beyond.
Yeah.
It is awesome. And last but by no means least, Virtual Strangers. We got Wes and Roots. How you doing, boys?
Oh, good, man. I'm just woke up. I'm still kind of trying to get my bearings, but good. Glad to be back home. Glad to be back in front of cameras and microphones again. Like Roots said it. It seems like it's been forever.
Yeah, except for I don't feel like I haven't gone anywhere. I've actually enjoyed my bed, my house. I haven't been jet setting. But I'm not slumming it with my 2080 anymore. I got my 3080 Ti back in today, and it's back in my computer, and all 3 fans are running. So it's a win.
I had
Verizon 1070.
What?
Fuck. Yeah.
Well,
bro.
how are you running World of Warcraft? Oh, we'll talk about that later. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, how did I play any VR and stream and record simultaneously? Like, it's amazing. I don't know.
what
I don't know.
what you got a 1070?
Yeah,
Well, still,
That's crazy.
I know.
wow.
I know. I'm ready to upgrade. Just haven't gotten around to it.
Well, that's the thing. We all have upgraded since those days, but it never was because we had to.
Mm.
Like we were doing fine when we were back on 1080s and stuff. Like
Mm.
we just wanted to, because and eventually the price was good enough and the power was enticing enough when we went for it. But we never upgraded because we had to upgrade. It's because we wanted to.
I haven't felt like I needed it until I got to these mods, these PCVR mods, and
Yeah, that's true.
being able to crank everything up makes a big
Yeah.
difference.
What are
Yeah,
you guys?
there's
What are you
definitely
guys all
times.
running? What are you guys all running? Like GPUs and stuff.
I'm running
3080.
the 3080 Ti.
I got the same car as
3090.
Mash, 3080 Ti. Oh, listen to Skiva, man.
What do you think
This
you're
man
better than us?
legitimately thinks
39.
that he is better than us.
4090.
Oh,
Jesus.
like-
Brad just slaps it out there. They're like,
Jesus.
4090.
you think you are
You
better?
needed to run
better
those,
than everyone.
those goggles. You needed to run the goggles. Put your VR goggles on.
4090, dude, crazy. So what's like? I guess what's the budget of GPUs? Like, I think when it gets to £1,000 for me, I can't really stomach going over £1,000 for a GPU. It's just
I think that's the wrong answer. GT.
Oh,
Let's
is it?
try again. Well, everybody will for these headsets, man. They're thinking 1,500. I don't want to, but it's such a good headset. Having this video card has changed everything. I'm not even joking. Like I go into games and I crank everything to the top, and I'm not. It took everything out of my, and then on these mods, man. Hogwarts mod, just making it look that good and run that good. It doesn't happen with a lower end video card. Although for $1,000, I mean, you can still get a really banger video card. So,
the prices are all so up and down at the moment. I don't know when a good time is to get a card. Maybe Alex is doing the best thing ever. Just rocking that 1070.
I'm until it falls out, man. Like I think because it's also an Alienware PC, so like whatever else is in this thing is also probably pretty.
Alienwares
good,
are fantastic. They're like highly tuned,
Yeah.
aren't they? Like
Yeah,
specialized.
so it works out. It hasn't like prevented me from doing anything substantial yet. So I guess until that happens, I'll probably be chilling. But I can't imagine it'll be long. Another year tops, right?
It's weird. I would have thought your big brother would have gave you a hand-me-down. I thought
Yeah.
Skeever would have like chucked you
I've been waiting. I've been dropping hints. I'm like, Skiva, hey man,
Need
you
that
got
4090, and then I'll throw Alex a bone for sure.
Cool. So let's talk about GDC quickly, because I know, as I said, a lot of the pictures I've seen, it looked amazing, like an amazing show. The Ghost of Tabor, that fucking car, the Ghost of
That car is
Tabor
awesome.
car. I was like, that is so good.
I
The
rode in
hats are
that
good,
thing.
too. Look at this.
Nice military style.
I got one
Yeah.
for you.
Thank you, sir. I'd love that. Thank you. Yeah, so just tell me about GDC, man. Give me a rundown of what's going on there and how VR is being represented.
So I will say that Ghost of Tabor car was in Orlando at the Ghost of Tabor launch party, which is a separate event from GDC, right? So GDC took place in California, which of course I was not able to attend, which makes me very sad. But I was in by some weird fluke actually able to go to Orlando. I was in the Uber driving to the airport to catch my ride back home to Arizona so I could spend a little bit of time with my wife before going to California for the event that I had to go to. And on my way to the airport, I get a text from my wife. She's like, hey, I'm positive for COVID right now. I just tested this morning. And I was like, no, that really sucks. And she's like, yeah, so you probably shouldn't come here. And then I can hear Masher in my ear, and he's like, hey, Orlando. You should come to Orlando. So I literally changed my flight.
He nearly
like,
made me
on my
go,
way to the
dude. He nearly
airport.
made me go. I was like,
I was
I'm in
this
the
close, I
UK.
think. I think GT was like that close.
I was very close. My wife
Yeah.
kept going, "You should go. You should go. You should go." And I was like, "I don't think I should go." But
And that's me too. That was the same way, and then I ended up going. So
And I won.
Yeah, my wife is better now, by the way. So no worries there. It's all good. We were celebrating our birthdays this week, and it was all good. But yeah, I got to go to Orlando. I got to ride in that Ghost of Tabor car after the party. Scott was driving back to the hotel, and I jumped in his car, avoided the Uber, and cruised around in style for a minute, which is awesome. But yeah, that launch party was really, really awesome. I'm really glad that I was able to attend and make it. Brad was there walking around with his big screen headset, and we were like doing these
That was
fancy
awesome.
interviews in this like super high quality production studio that's like a part of this university that the party took place at. And the crew was awesome. Everybody was so excited about the game, and I had a really great time. I'm glad that we were able to go.
do you know what really sucks in Ghost of the Board is when you have all this really cool shit and then you just get murked and someone gets
Oh,
it
yeah.
all. Wouldn't that have been cool if they'd have set it up that some of the Ghost of the Board just like raided the car while you was in it? That'd have been so cool. They stole your car.
Took your wallet.
That'd have been
Pretty
great.
cool. Yeah.
That'd have made me feel like I'm playing Ghost of the Board then.
You're
It's like, I've
looking
lost all my
at-
shit. I've lost all my
You're
shit.
looking at it the wrong way, GT. We have to look at it when you have that really good gear and somebody kills you and takes it. You're helping that person out. You gotta, you know what I mean? You're helping them gear up, and you can feel good about that.
Fuck
So-
that. No, I'm never gonna think like that. I've noticed Skeever's got like I've tried the XR8, man. It is a very good headset, and I saw you guys using the wireless trackers as well.
Oh,
I just want to be like Brad, but I don't have a big.
Oh, yeah.
screen,
you don't have the
so-
cool. big
Oh, look
screen.
at that.
you haven't got the cool hair
Wow.
either. You need that cool hair, that surf hair. That's it. Look at that. Look at him go. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, talk about GDC real quick though, and it's an incredible conference. This is my second year going, and last year I can say that there was definitely VR, AR stuff there, but you had to hunt to find it. Like it was there,
Yeah.
but you had to search. And Wes will tell you, and Skiva, and you did not have to search to find it this year. You came down those main escalator stairs to the whole floor, and everybody has to go this way to go to the expo floor. The first thing you see is a huge meta booth. Then you look to your right, and there's a huge resolution booth. And then right next to the meta, there's a huge
Nice.
Pico booth, and right next to Pico, there's a huge PlayStation booth showing mainly PSVR 2. And then there's booths all over the place with games, VR games too. So it was definitely there, and to me, VR was well represented this year at GDC.
That's so awesome, though, because normally, like you said, every show I've ever been to, it's like a corner or a floor, and you've got to find it, or there's just like you're walking around and suddenly there's just this one bit of VR apparatus in the middle of everything else. That sounds amazing.
Not anymore. It's pretty dominant now. I mean, you even in the main hall of GDC, there's these like giant screens, and usually the big companies have them like Unity and Unreal, but there was a lot of VR headsets up there this year, a lot of the Quest Pro and stuff like that. So it was great, man. It felt like a VR show.
That is so.
I mean,
cool.
It felt like AWE.
There was
Mhm.
Demio banners all over town, like on
Mhm.
trash
Yep.
cans and on the sides of buildings. I mean, it was crazy.
It should be. Demio is amazing.
Have you got? I know Skiva has. Have any? Or the rest of you been to Resolution Games in Stockholm? I know.
No.
I'm gonna go next week, actually.
Dude,
We went to the new one though in Austin. Alex and Skiva
Yeah.
and Jasmine and I got a chance to go to they have a Resolution open up a brand new studio in Austin, Texas. That's really awesome.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like when we went there with like Skiva and Todd and stuff, I saw like they are really invested in themselves in growth. As things are doing well, they're growing with it, and to open another studio is insane. They're obviously mega talented and things are in the pipeline, and they're also bringing Demio to. I think there's a Steam Deck version. There's it's flat, isn't it now? So I think you can play VR and PC.
Yep.
Crossplay. Is it on PS5? I don't think it is, but
Yep.
Is it really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, both on PSVR 2 and flat on PS5.
That's amazing.
And we got to play an unreleased Resolution Games title while we were at the studio.
What
A
is it?
That
multiplayer
was
game.
cool.
What is it?
Can we say what it was?
You played it with us, GT.
Oh,
and-
I've
think
already
we
made a
did some-
video. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we can. Yeah, I don't know if we can say it, right? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, we
go ahead
signed
and
an
say
NDA.
Alvin. You say Alvin, so it's not me.
Skeever, is it the game we played? Is it the game
we played it. We played it on like the first day. We wore those sweatbands. Do you remember? Remember that, GT?
Did you say
It was
sweat?
2-on-2?
Did you say sweatpants?
Sweatbands.
like on our wrists and our heads.
Oh
Remember the game?
shit! No, we can't talk about that.
Yep. Right.
How dare you try and get us to talk about that? GT?
We can't talk about that. I literally I've got such a bad memory, man. So yeah, give me some highlights then. So what I was going to say, Alvin Wang followed me from HTC. So someone's been speaking to him, saying nice things
Holy
about me.
shit, dude. Skiba, tell him
we
the
have-
Alvin Wang story.
Can we? Are we supposed to talk
Yes.
about that? On this
Yes, he put
podcast?
it. He
That's
put it.
so
He put it. He
weird.
put it on Facebook, man. You can talk.
You
about it.
did?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there at this party, which was a sick party, by the way. It was like one of the best VR parties I've ever been to. And Alvin was there, and he came over. He was talking to Mash and me, and Alvin was like, "Dude," Mash was rocking this really sick GDC sweatshirt, and Alvin was like, "Dude, I like that sweatshirt. That's nice." Mash was like, "I really like your Vive shirt, man. We should trade." And Alvin in the middle of the bar just stripped, man, bare skin, gave him the
Amazing.
shirt. Mash gave him the sweatshirt, and they literally switched
Here's-
shirts right there in the middle
Here's
of
the
the bar.
awesome part. I
It was so
put
bizarre.
Alvin's like a large shirt on me, and I'm like, that was one.
Alvin's shredded.
Dude, he is
like,
cut. It's jacked.
he is. He's pretty cut.
That's so.
Alvin
funny.
Grayley was jacked, yo.
There you go.
So
What
so HTC
great
were
guy.
representing though, were they? Like there, were they? Was they have a booth as well? You said I didn't hear HTC.
There was no
Yeah, so-
booth, but they
Yeah.
had a building that they rented. It was like a couple story place where they were doing demos. They were demoing the XR Elite. They were demoing its face and eye tracking unit, and they were demoing the new base stationless trackers, which are pretty awesome. So they were showing the whole thing, plus a bunch of, they were doing some Viverse demos, and they were showing all kinds of stuff, and it was really great. It was a beautiful space, and it was great.
I think the
Are you
XR
gonna
Elite.
get trackers?
Oh, sorry.
Are you gonna get some, Skiva, for your elbows and your knees?
I would like them. I would really like a world where
Why do you wanna
there's
make-
no more base stations needed, so you can like travel with this stuff, right? Imagine not having to carry, because base stations are very they break easily. They
Yeah,
spin at high
sensitive.
RPMs, and like I don't want to carry those things around. So just bringing those trackers, those things are awesome. And this headset, man, this headset's dope. So
Plus, people that don't have base stations like myself could actually get in the fray. So,
yeah,
You
and
know
they're
what the greatest
headset
thing is, too?
agnostic.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. How smart is it for HTC to say, you know what? We're not going to make this a closed system. It's an ecosystem that's open. If you got a Quest 2 and you want body tracking, here you go.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
it's
Open
really
up a
good.
whole new
$300
avenue.
for enterprise only.
Oh yeah, that's never mind.
That's a lie.
How much are the trackers then each?
They
We
didn't
don't know
say.
yet.
TBD.
Ooh,
Okay.
how much do you guys think they'll be?
Not
150
200.
bucks?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
about 150.
I was going to say
Yeah.
199, but
199
Yeah.
for 3? You think it'll be 3?
each I was going. But if they're
Oh no, each
Oh,
for
Go
God.
sure.
199 each?
Mhm.
No, I don't think it'll be that much.
That's what I think,
each.
actually. That's my
Yeah.
You think
guess.
200 bucks
Wow.
a piece?
Will you buy?
Yeah.
Will you pay
Currently
it, Brad?
150
Will you,
each.
Brad, will
right?
you pay it? Is that too much for you?
Yeah, I would pay it. Yeah.
It's fucking
The
off.
interesting thing
If there's
about the
anyone
open
in the
thing,
room who would pay it, it would be Brad.
Well, Brad's gonna get like 4 or 6 of them and just wear them all the time.
He'll swallow one.
I want to put one on my dog.
Oh,
Do you need it though? Like if you have base stations and all of that, like isn't it kind of for people who don't have base stations?
When I saw that product, it was the first time I looked at my room and I'm like, I might not need base stations anymore. That's literally what
yeah.
I thought. Like
Yeah, 'cause
that's
you
the
don't-
future, right?
Without your index, right? Because you're gravitating to a different headset as well.
They
So-
showed
I mean-
them. They showed one mounted to that headset that Brad's wearing to make it base stationless.
Did they actually? Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Huh.
These things are tiny too, guys. They're literally like this big. I mean, they're so light and they'll connect to anything.
Yeah. Talk to me about the XR Elite. Brad, did you get to try it?
No, my order got canceled due to an issue, so I won't get one for a while.
Oh,
I will
man.
only order it from Amazon for past experiences ordering from the Vive Direct website personally. So it's going to take a bit of time. So sorry, I don't got anything to say.
No worries.
Smart.
Yeah, talk to me about it. Talk to me about that headset in particular. You know, I'm quite excited with VR. There's so much going on in VR. It's so cool. I just hope personally, I love games. I just hope there's more games and stuff. But yeah, let's talk about some headsets, man. Let's talk about XR Elite.
I mean, Skiva can probably talk more than anybody else, but I will say real quick that I got a chance to try the XR Elite with the depth sensor turned on, and it is the best pass-through. That it was borderline the best pass-through already, but you add the depth sensor chip into this headset, and it is so freaking good. This color pass-through with depth sensor, it's hands down the best.
Are you
way
on about
to
like
be
the
in mixed reality.
Squidward looking thing?
So no, that's that will track your face. That's a face tracker.
Oh, okay.
That's built in, a face and eye tracker that's built in, and that actually thing is really cool. And it basically is just a new facial interface that just magnets on. So you take your other magnet interface off, you put this one on. It's got the face tracker on it, and it's got the eye tracker built into the interface. It's a really cool way to do it. But no, just the chip that is built inside the headset so when you go to color pass through. It was turned off when we were all at CES testing. They didn't have it turned on. It wasn't activated. And I thought then that the pass-through was really good. Now, with it activated, it is by far the best. It's way better than the Pico. It's way better than the Quest Pro. It's really, really, really good.
That makes me wonder whether I've tried it with it on then. I probably haven't. Because my demo was, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. So
I would say you probably didn't. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just got the beta build of it enabled like that day that we tried it.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't even know that they were going to really be able to show it.
Bluebell wants to know what the sweet spot's like on it.
It's pretty great. I mean, I feel like the sweet spot on it is way bigger than the PSVR 2 at least.
What isn't?
Yeah, really.
So the lenses on this are really cool, right? They have they also have diopters on there. So you can turn the little dials and you can adjust for your prescription.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
that
pretty
way
cool.
the lenses can get really, really close up to your face and give you a decent field of view. So it's pretty good. It's really light, you know, it's fully convertible. So you can just pull this back battery strap off just like that and put on the glasses things.
Yeah, I believe
And
without the
then-
battery strap, it's 290 grams.
Yep.
Just the glasses. Like that's what I love so much about my demo. I was just like, this is crazy. It's so good. Get into that. And that's where I saw that before I sort of mocked it, where the guys were saying, yeah, you can put a battery on your belt and wear it that way. But I kind of thought, actually, that's a really good trade. 290, you know, pair of glasses and a wire going down. It kind of then thought, yeah, I could see myself.
I'll tell you, so that's one of the main turn-ons for me is being able to pull that off and like sit comfortably in an airplane and use it, you know, have a battery pack in my pocket or something and be able to just like watch movies, you know, or hang out and play some, you know, not so crazy games. You know, be able to switch those batteries out default, right, without having to add anything onto it. You know, if you buy another battery, you can literally hot swap it. So there's a small battery inside the headset that'll last about 10 minutes without the main battery connected to it.
Right.
Which gives you enough time to swap out the battery on the back or pull it off and put a battery pack on.
Nice. Thank you to everyone in chat, by the way. Sorry. Hello. How you doing? Good to see you all. Really appreciate you all being here. Thank you. Sloto's been a member for a month. He's probably brought about 40 members to this channel. Thank you ever so much. I know you guys, I tried Tilt 5 back in August. Some of you obviously have played it now, Tilt 5 and some games. What are your experiences and thoughts on that? If anyone doesn't know what that is, quickly search it. It's an augmented reality gaming device. I think it's pretty cool, but what do you guys think of it?
It was cool. It was cool. I got a chance to try it for the first time when we were in San Francisco, and we got to play a new game, which I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about. And it was cool. It was cool, kind of a board game thing. But what really impressed me was afterwards that they ran me through like a whole gamut of demos. And I wasn't aware of the versatility of the different kinds of games that you can play on it. It was really cool with like especially with like isometric view games. Like they played kind of like classic games almost, but they pop out. It was almost like playing like a reshade mod right on the tabletop. It was pretty cool.
When I first saw it, I remember thinking I'd love to see Demio in AR.
Yeah.
Like that would fucking blow my mind. As soon as I saw it, I
So would
thought
they?
that would just like
They bug them like daily.
Yeah.
They're like brutal with resolution games. They're constantly pinging them.
It has
like,
to happen,
yeah.
surely.
That would be the ultimate Demio machine. Can you imagine that? That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
We got to remember to clip this and send it to them. I'm sure that they'll
yeah.
post it everywhere, right?
We did a video with them, like Jerry Ellsworth and Stephanie Greenhall and me and Skiva and Wes and Todd standing like in front of the Tilt 5 sign and just yelling Demio on Tilt 5. They're like send it to Paul Brady from Resolution.
It just makes sense, so much sense, because when Wes was describing those games, that's the kind of game they're the kind of games I think look good, but they've got like racing games on there. I think they showed me a racing game on there. I've also seen it where someone's had two of the reflective panels, so one's vertical, one's down, and apparently that's a pretty sick experience as well. I haven't seen that.
I got to imagine that would be nuts if they developed games specifically for that. I mean, that could get really cool.
Yeah, apparently you can like you get this particular playboard, but you can even buy bigger playboards and put them together. I think but there's obviously like a graphical limitation. I think when it comes to certain aspects in these games, but
theoretically you could put that up like wallpaper in your room.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and and to be real, the only downside I found of it personally was the resolution. I think it's like 720p with the visuals. That was the only thing what didn't quite live up to my imagination, and my imagination was pretty high, so I was still very
personally
very happy.
am not a huge fan of the controller. Like it just seems a little weird to me. Like the controller, if you've never seen it, it literally looks exactly like a barbecue grill lighter. You know, like an extended lighter with like a trigger on it, and you can like turn it sideways and kind of use it like a gamepad, or you can like use it almost like it's a fishing pole and pull stuff out of the board with it. And like I see why they have it the way that it is, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. You know, I'm looking forward to like the next iteration of their controllers.
I was okay with the button layout and the way that they use it. What I didn't like about the controller is when you do turn it sideways, you have that antenna sticking through your fingers, and you could never really get comfortable with it.
Nice. Sorry.
Yeah. It looks, you know, I feel like this has the potential, if it hits the right price point, to you know, to be something special. Like imagine sitting around just with your family and playing a cool 3D version of, you know, Monopoly or just any board game that you want, and then switching over and playing like more like a hardcore video game. You know, this could be really cool. They need to hit the price point, and they need to let you run multiple sets of glasses off of one machine.
I think you can do that hard, can't you?
Right, you can on certain games, and maybe that's why the resolution is stuck so low, because they have to like now dole out to multiple sets of headsets. But now they also have an Android build, I believe, so you can plug it into your phone and use that to render the experience.
Wow, that's so cool.
That helps.
Yeah, so they're getting there.
And
Is
there's
that
a
with
market
Apple
for this,
though?
right?
Did you say Android though? That's only Android phones.
Android.
Yeah,
Android. No, I don't think Apple. But there's a market for it, right? I mean, people spend thousands of dollars on these video tables. Have you guys seen these? There's all kinds out there, but they're video game board tables, but they're flat, right? I mean, but you get every board game on the video. This is basically 1 million times better. It's that, but it's, you know, with AR, you get depth and you get verticality to it. So it's not just you looking down into the board. It does give you the sense of 3D where it actually comes up out of the board too. So it is expensive and it does need to hit a price point, but there is a market for it if they can. Like, there's a lot of people out there that do game nights, board game nights.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people in our community that do. My partner Todd from QTC VR Gamer bought one of those tables. I don't even know what he paid for that thing. One of the flat ones. His family just got one for Christmas. So, and they're a big board game family. So I think it does scratch an itch for people. It just, like Skiva says, it needs to hit a price point. It needs to be, you need to have to be able to use multiple headsets on one board.
Yeah, and we don't know the price point. Did you say we know the price point?
No, we do. It's what is it now?
400.
I didn't even. Yeah, but I think it needs to hit a price point where you get multiple glasses for that thing.
So it's
Like
400.
right now, it's the board and one. Is it board and one set of glasses?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're
The
saying.
2 glasses pack is $659.
That's
So 1 glass is $359, 2 glasses $659, and 3 glasses $959.
I'm looking at the chat, and a lot of people are like, I don't know, like Wolf Raza says, Tilt 5 makes sense 10 years ago.
I can kind of see that though. Like, I've been a little bit bullish on like mixed reality, and like pass through stuff. Cause like, I don't know, like if I'm putting a headset on, I just want to be immersed into the experience. Right. And
Yeah.
if I'm going to be adding virtual objects into my space, I'd prefer that to be done with like AR glasses, not like a whole ass headset on my face, but, I did try the XR Elite when we were in Austin. The HTC team, like Alvin and Ray were there, and they were demoing basically in like the corner of Resolution Games' studio. And I got to jump in there, and I did the Yuki mixed reality game.
That's
And
awesome.
then I did another one called
You done the composer
Maestro.
one? Yeah, Maestro.
Maestro.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of liked it a lot. The game was fun, it was like a super intense bullet hell experience, and being able to see my surroundings and the people around me and stuff was a benefit that I never really cared about. And after experiencing it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see now why people are like really pushing for this MR thing, because I didn't feel so disconnected from my environment, but I was still immersed in the experience that I was having at the same time, So if someone like made a comment, I could look over and say hi to them really quick, and then like, bam, I'm like back into the game experience. So I'm starting to see the value that being able to like be in touch with the room around you has while you're experiencing these immersive games. And AR I think is going to be capable of doing that, but I think the mixed reality experiences in the headsets might get us there faster and in a better way. So I'm kind of excited for it now. And I will say that one thing I thought that was cool about Maestro before I pass it is that it's a game where you hold a controller in one hand and have hand tracking in the other. So I'm like using a controller to swing my baton, and then using hand tracking to like point at the different sections of the orchestra to like get them to do their thing. Hand tracking wasn't very good. All right. Just being blunt about it. Like I didn't think the hand tracking was even close to where it needs to be for me to like feel good about buying a game that has hand tracking supported in it and then playing it. But once that hand tracking does get better, to be able to use it in tandem with a tracked controller, I think is really, really awesome. And I'm sure that that's just scratching the surface of the potential there.
I was at a birthday party for my kid, and who's 8. And I was talking to some parents, and someone was like, "You work in VR, right?" And then they said, I have 2 Quest 2s at home and I haven't used them in like 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, really? Why is that? And he said, because I have like 3 kids and 2 dogs, and I can't not see them. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll be tripping over the dogs, the kids will be pulling on things. Like, so what you were saying, Alex, is very true. There's definitely a subset of people that will gravitate towards the games where they can see their environment and see what's happening and still be able to watch their kids and not step on their dog that's running around chasing the other dog. It's
I want to add to that. I think some people feel that about sound as well. Now I know the Quest gets a bit of hate for the sound quality that it produces with the spatial audio, but I actually think it's quite good for what it does, and I actually like that. I like that the sound sounds like it's in the room with me rather than me not being in that room. Does that make any sense to anyone? Because I feel quite alone in that. Like, I'm quite happy to play my Quest without headphones a lot of the time. But
I love my Index because it sounds really good, but my kid can still come over and be like, Dad, and I know, and she's not like pulling on me as I'm swinging my arm to hit something in VR and I knock her out, right? We don't want that. But like, so I can hear, what's happening at my house.
Dude, you know what sounds so good is the Pico, dude. Like that blew me away. I use
Pico 4.
Storms. I use Sea Storms Pico 4, and the main thing I noticed was just the richness of the audio coming out of the headset. Really surprised me, actually.
I love the controllers. They're so like if Nintendo ever made a VR headset, they're the sort of controllers I'd imagine that they would make. They feel really good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I like them a lot too.
We got to wish Doomslayer happy birthday. So yeah, happy birthday, Doomslayer.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Doomslayer and Spry Guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Is
Spry
it
Guy.
Spry Guy? Is he here?
Oh, so
Is it
now
his
Spry
birthday?
Guy is taking over Doomslayer's birthday. Is that what's happening?
He's
here?
Everybody's
everybody's.
birthday,
It's every day, every minute.
Roots, are you watching the chat? Because there's people like dropping things about the sweet spot. Who else has a small sweet spot?
Well,
Thank
she loves the sweet spot.
But yeah, I'm banging to the headphones. I just got the brand new Bobo Air ones, which completely make the other ones like obsolete completely because they don't need any power. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them out. But yeah, I kind of
showed up for me too. I haven't tried them yet either.
No, I haven't
I'm
tried
looking
them.
forward to
They said there's better audio quality because I think with the battery ones, if you had the volume too low, there was like a hiss.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Did they fix, like, I remember too that the headphones would push kind of hard on your ears, and after a while your ears would get sore. At least they did for me. That was one of the gripes that I told them about as well.
Nice. Wes, you need to start speaking. Apparently, people are missing your voice. So.
His voice, he's just been out. He doesn't. It's something's wrong with his throat.
Yeah, I apologize. Things keep popping up on my screen that I have to deal with. So I've been kind of in and out of it. Sorry, everyone. I hope that's enough of my voice to appease you for the.
There
he
not
goes.
Pay attention fully to the chat, Wes.
I want to know what Eric thinks about. I just read an article today from Upload VR, the top 25 PlayStation VR2 games, and number 11 was What the Bat. What are your thoughts on that, Eric?
Number 11 out of 25.
Number 11.
So what was? I want to know what's after 11. Like
I don't know.
10.
I think Light Brigade was 16 or something ridiculous.
Fuck
like,
off, serious?
Yeah, it almost didn't make the list.
Let me look at this shit. That is
There's some good ones on there. They got the first like 5 to 7. I think Switchback was 7 or 8.
They're not in order though. They can't be in.
I think that's the order.
Yeah. No, but I don't think they're in like good game order. No, they can't be.
They are because they go from like least good to most good.
No, they don't. Don't tell me that.
They do.
Come on.
Oh, yeah,
they do.
Number 1 is Call of the Mountain. 2 is Resident Evil 8. 3 is, I think, maybe 3 is Switchback. I don't know.
Where's Tentacular?
It's like
I don't know. I don't think that made it. Mash,
It did. It did.
Spectacular.
21st.
Did it?
21.
Oh my God. Oh wow. There you go.
I'll say
know
this. I've met very many lovely people from Upload.
Is that it? Is that it? Is that a comment?
That's a
the end
safe
of it.
answer.
Do you know, they're lovely people at Upload.
You know, we were in line trying to get into one of these parties in San Francisco last week, and we met a very nice, lovely developer. And as it turns out, it was someone from Neat Corp, the studio
my God.
behind Garden of the Sea.
Budget
Oh,
Cuts?
God.
Is that Neat Corp? Was
Budget Cuts
Cuts.
and,
Yeah.
and Garden of the Sea.
And Garden of the Sea.
Oh, Mash, you don't like Garden of the Sea, do you?
You know what I did? As soon as she said, because we said Budget Cuts, and she said, yeah, and Garden of the Sea. I actually turned around and walked away from her.
Oh my God.
did.
Oh, the
hilarious.
disrespect.
You did.
No, you
Yeah.
did not. No,
I
you did
turned
not.
right back, came back. But I was like,
Just
I was
don't
like,
know
oh, Garbage of the Sea. I hate that game.
Garbage of the Sea. Oh my.
She was super nice. I mean, she was super
I enjoyed it. I enjoy games like that. I've put in hundreds of hours in Animal Crossings and, like cute little life sim experiences. I played the crap out of Raccoon Lagoon when that came out on the Quest. So, I think it's just a preference thing. It's not, the game's not garbage.
This
definitely is
list,
a preference
I
thing.
just want to say, I'm so sure. Have you guys met Harry Baker from Upload?
Oh yeah.
He's
Oh,
so
yeah.
awesome. He's so awesome. I don't think this is in numbers of 25 being like the worst to the best. If you know, it can't be, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
So-
according to this, After the Fall is worse than what the bat.
Well, this is the thing. Then why would the top ones be at the number 1, 2, 3? Those are like the top games for the PlayStation VR 2, and they're all just happen to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. That list, just by looking at that, tells me that it's got to be in their mind in order.
Yeah, who
of-
wrote this?
Look, I love Upload. I love the team. I love everyone there. I think they do wonderful things for VR. But I will say this: these guys aren't gamers. They're journalists. They know the hardware very well. Jamie Feltham was the gamer. He's gone.
I think Harry
you
Baker's
guys-
also the gamer, but obviously you can't do everything, can you? I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he?
I don't think
know.
Harry's a gamer.
Do you not?
Please tell me
He's the
he's not a gamer,
closest.
no.
Maybe he's the closest.
Yeah, I had
to-
a couple of conversations with
yeah.
him about some old school games, and
Mhm.
he seemed to know what I was talking about. So, yeah.
Do you think he calls it VR goggles?
He calls it,
Or
the Oculus.
He calls
the
it
The Oculus?
The VR, the VR.
The
He's just gonna
VR.
call it the what the bat machine.
Oh,
my
God.
man, I did actually go. Do you know what? I did actually turn on What the Bat, and I think I like hit something off a wooden thing, and I just turned it off again. And I was like, oh, I can't believe this.
Oh, so
I'd
you
love
did
to
the
tell
right
you
thing.
it gets better, but it doesn't. It doesn't
Oh,
get better
You
at
just,
all.
I don't think you put enough time into it, Skiva. You got to get like at least 10 or 12 hours in there to really like see how good this game is.
I think I forced myself into four
Oh,
4
wow.
hours. I was like, eventually I'm gonna get to a level and I'm gonna be like, oh,
It's gonna click.
oh, okay. That
Doesn't
never
happen.
happened. Nope.
The only time it clicks is when you take a bat, you hit yourself in the face, knock yourself out, and then you don't have to go through it anymore.
God damn
Brutal.
it, man, that's crazy. I don't know who wrote the list. I don't know if anyone's going to call him out or not. But that is interesting. Now I need to play that and Garden of the Sea, which is insane. What are you guys playing at the moment? Any games in particular you're enjoying? I mean, I know you guys are on the road and stuff, so you probably even had time to play much.
I just had cracked into The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution on PlayStation VR 2
And
before I left town.
and
And I
Mm.
thought it was amazing. It was
Oh.
amazing, dude. Now, obviously I'm just getting started in it. You know, I had a couple of play sessions before I flew out. But man, it's like a whole different game from the Quest version, huh?
oh yeah, wow, that's a statement. Yeah, like it looks brilliant on PSVR 2. It really
It
does.
really
and,
does.
And I tried to and it might be more because of the Quest 2 as well, but I tried to make the PC look on par with it, but it just didn't perform as well either. You know, it just looks so smooth and it just plays really well for me personally. I love
And
it
then
on
you-
PSVR 2.
And then you've got that whole other layer of tactile feedback that just adds to every game, it seems like.
Hey, I'm just, mate, it's like the PSVR 2 currently is like what the Quest was for me when it first came out. You know, you're just doing something and then suddenly you're in VR and you're just having a good time. And I tend to be doing that a lot with PSVR 2.
Yeah.
So much at the moment because that, as you said, the image quality and the graphics of Saints and Sinners 2 is brilliant. I love it. I think it's so good. I've been really enjoying playing that game, getting back into it.
So Artful says, what? Not Switchback West to beat that track? GT holds the record over you. So
Mm.
what Artful's talking about is GT came into our stream last week and made sure to that I put him into my friends list so everyone could see where he's at.
I couldn't handle it. You're sitting there going,
Nice.
you're going, my friends, and I'm like, I'm your fucking friend. Put me on that list. I want to be.
Well,
on it.
anyway, since then, I have proceeded to overtake Gamertag VR on every track except for one, which I didn't get around back
Mm.
into. And you're right, Artful. That's on my to-do list this week. We got to take care of that one last track.
Oh,
I think D's been taking over your records, Wes.
Yeah, Dee's been very
What?
publicly putting me to shame while I've been away and can't play.
God damn it. How's she getting on with that game anyway? Because she's quite a bit of a scaredy cat, isn't she? Certain games.
She's doing good. I guess it must not. I guess maybe Brian's more right than what we think. It's saying it's not that scary.
It's
Right.
not. I can't handle scary games, and I didn't have any problems with what I played.
Did you find Rush of Blood more scary than this?
Yes.
Eva?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
kind of felt the same way. I felt like it. I mean, I haven't played through the full game, but I feel like it was creepier for some reason.
In its entirety, I would say Rush of Blood is more of a nightmare, especially with the roller coaster parts. That they were just so insane. You know, it's just like houses were pulled apart, and then you're diving through these dolls, and
Here's the difference for me, and what I think really is taking away not only from the scare factor, but the overall enjoyment of the game versus something like Rush of Blood. If you want to compete on the leaderboards in this game, you can't stop shooting. Everything's destructible and everything has a point limit attached to it. So literally, you just have to spam bullets through the whole thing. Where Rush of Blood was more of a, more about accuracy. This game's more about just reflexes and never stop, endurance. And I think since you're always trying to shoot things, it doesn't really allow you the time to take things in. You're just constantly, click, 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 click all the way through the track. So, if Rush of Blood's better than this game, I think it's because there is no accuracy component to this. I think they have some amount of aim assist on, at least it seems that way at times. And you just can't ever stop pulling the trigger. So maybe they'll tweak it in the future, and I think that it would be beneficial to people's enjoyment and the scare factor of the game. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a formula that's hard to mess with,
It's weird because the preview demos we had were the best scare factors from 3 levels edited. So it felt, when I started reviewing the game and those long sections in between, I did kind of think, like, why are these bits even here? Like, Rush of Blood I think Rush of Blood, they just kept trying to make an excuse to do something else, like, how can we make this crazier and more scary? But I still like Switchback, man. I think it's a really good game. I really do hope they fix the visuals, because I think that has overtaken the conversation that should have happened about the game. It's just been about visuals.
Right.
So yeah, that's been a bit of a shame. But
I've been trying to stay away from it because I haven't played it yet. I've been away from my PlayStation VR 2 now for a long time. And I to be honest, I apologize. I haven't watched any of anybody's coverage, which I usually try to do. But is it worth it? Like, is this a disappointment? I guess is my question. I mean, and maybe you're saying it's still a good game, but like, is this a disappointment? Like, we had high hopes for this game, right? Like, so did they let us down? I mean, is it worth it? Should somebody go out and buy it, or should they wait for a sale?
I'll let Wes go first.
You should definitely buy it, especially if you're a fan of Rush of Blood, the way that I was. The way you framed the question, is it a disappointment? I guess technically, I mean, I thought that this might be game of the year. I don't feel like that's in the cards anymore, but it's still one of a handful of games that I want to play right now. I'm like, most of my library I don't want to touch. Switchback, I mean, I'm constantly thinking about getting back into it. So it's a great game. It really is a great game. Is it as good as I had hoped? Probably not.
Shirzad with the 199 cheaper super chat is asking, is it true that different devs worked on Switchback? I'm assuming compared to Rush of Blood.
Yes.
Well, the game director, sorry, GT, the game director of this game did not work on Rush of Blood.
Yeah. So
I'm the opposite of you as Wes. I have a problem trying to get back into it, but it's for the same reason, because I am enjoying it. I definitely think it's worth playing, Eric. I'm hoping and praying, and from talking to Wes on the show last night, I'm not very optimistic, but I'm hoping that they're going to fix the blurriness and make it like super amazing. I want to play through the rest of it after they fixed it. But I'm thinking, am I like waiting for nothing? Like, am I waiting for something, Wes, that's not going to happen? Is that what's happening here?
Well,
I mean, is the gameplay there though? I mean, is it just the blurriness, or is the gameplay?
Oh, the gameplay's there. I think I don't know. There's some really crazy moments, man. Like, there was a moment I picked the wrong track, and and left some lady to burn to death on the thing while she was screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, like I decided I'm just going to keep taking the right track so that I kind of have an idea of which way I've went, which ended up being screwy anyway, because sometimes there's a track there that you miss. But I went right, and then it was too late, and I just watched her like screaming, helping, asking for help, and I had already gone. I was too late. I'm like, sorry, lady, it's not my fault.
How dare you leave that lady?
I think the question
How dare
is,
you?
if Rush of Blood didn't exist, how would we feel about this game?
Oh,
right? Because
completely,
I still love
yeah.
this. I love my time that I've spent in Switchback, but I can't help but to compare it constantly in my mind as I'm playing to Rush of Blood, because I hold it at such a high standard. You know, I think if Rush of Blood didn't exist, we would just be praising this game.
I think
So,
you're absolutely
yeah.
right. That's what Matteo said on Virtual Strangers. He's Virtual Boys, sorry. He said, I never played Rush of Blood on PSVR. So he had nothing to go by. So in his mind, I think this was the best horror roller coaster game he'd ever played. So that's the thing, you know, like, as I said, Rush of Blood is like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how many times Wes has probably played through Rush of Blood. It's probably, like I have, probably 20 times, 30 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, a switchback, I can't actually see that happening now. I can see me playing it, I don't know, once or twice a year, maybe. You know, it's not going to be... Rush of Blood was just such a great game to dive into. Constantly.
It's a
How
different
much does
game.
the game cost?
$40.
Yeah.
Which
Is
is
that
weird,
because
too,
it's a
'cause-
PlayStation game?
Yeah,
think?
probably. But what's weird is people are talking like $40 is like so expensive. And I'm like, that. I think that's what it should be. And, you know, $20, which what the Rush of Blood came out how many years ago, was kind of unrealistic for that price. So, but to think that 40 is too much, it's definitely worth $40 in my opinion.
The good thing is developers are now noticing what the community is saying about native 90 being an important benchmark in games. Not this, oh yeah, we just do 60 and reproject it to 120. Everyone's benefiting from 90 native.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully we get there. I'm pretty sure that that's what we were expecting. I think that they said that's what it would be, and it isn't. But you know, I don't want to get too negative on the game. Like I'm having a blast with the gameplay. Mash, you were asking about the gameplay. You know, when I was talking about the differences in gunplay, that's just one aspect of this game. There's a lot more kind of versatility to what you're doing in this game with all the track switches and puzzles and all the different things they've added into it. It is a different game. It's a similar but different game.
Yeah, for sure.
On my PlayStation
Skiba,
VR
you brought your
2
PlayStation, right? To Vegas?
No,
You
he
drove.
doesn't have
You
that.
should have brought it. I could be playing it right now.
What the hell, Skiba?
So
totally should.
I've been traveling a lot. I haven't had a chance to do too much on my PlayStation VR 2. I've played Call the Mountain all the way through, and I've done some Demio, right? But I have today and tomorrow morning to jump into my next PlayStation VR 2 venture, right? So is it Switchback, or is it Gran Turismo, or is it Resident Evil, or is it What the Bat? I need to know.
I'd say What the Bat. I think that hard on not going to Gran Turismo, man. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, I think Gran Turismo is the safest one out of all of them. Yeah, that's incredible. But if you're not into a car racer, I don't know, because Resident Evil 8's a really good one. But I think if you want to see, like, I think Saints and Sinners really shocked me. Chapter 2. It looks so good. It looks really good.
And let's not forget the Lap Brigade. The Lap Brigade
That's
is
true.
fucking awesome.
And it's so good now, isn't it? With that latest update.
Yeah, it is. You know, I haven't tried it since, you know, they updated it again a couple days ago and put the I'm pretty sure they put the eye tracking based foveated rendering in there. I haven't played it since they've done that, but the update they put on it the week before that moved it to a smooth 90 made a world of difference with it, and it was very good.
Dude, yeah, there's also like a ghosting thing going on. So, like, Mike said to me, I said to him, like, you need to play Light Brigade, dude, you know, because he hadn't played it. And he said, I can't. He said, because if I move my head, it's like the world's moving. Things are moving in the world that shouldn't be moving. And I can see what he's saying, actually. Even when I play certain games on PSVR 2, if you had the brightness up a bit too high, it looks like if you move your head, it's like certain objects sort of wobble a little bit.
I've seen that in a couple of games too. It's like what do they call that? Moving shutter. If you're using a camera and you move it around. Yeah, I've noticed that too in a couple of games.
Yeah. So Brad dropped his video on PSVR 2 recently. What's been the reception of that video, Brad? How's it been?
Honestly, been taken pretty well. For a lot of people, it actually, for some people, it made people figure out why they also were getting sick because
that's what I was
out of the woodwork.
That's what I was kind of hoping you would say, because everyone's different, you know. You got the people going, yeah, it's absolutely fine, and then they see someone else going, it's not fine, and everyone's like, well, why is it not fine? And you obviously did a very good description of why it's not fine.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it was a great opportunity for me to kind of go back and talk about why VR hardware does certain things that other hardware doesn't, because we have displays strapped to our head instead of just stationary in an area. So, but yeah, some people, I was expecting the worst because obviously it wasn't like the most positive review of the system. I feel I was pretty fair. I gave all the best parts about it. But yeah, like I said, some people came out, they were DMing me saying I played, I did things differently based on what you recommended in your review, and I could actually play the system without getting sick. And you know, it's unfortunate that a company like Sony released something where it's like that, in my opinion, but like, whatever. And like you said, the developers like Light Brigade, who are realizing the reprojection, relying on that is just a terrible idea in every single way, especially in 2023. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it was an important video, and I'm happy it came out well.
I just think like when you see something like, I think some people, when we talked about the Light Brigade going native 90, they basically said, oh yeah, it's because the game is quite simplistic looking. And then when I went into The Walking Dead, I was like, hold on a minute. Like, this game's like hyper detailed and it's running at native 90. So, I mean, I think it's down to the devs, which then makes you think like, what did happen with Switchback? I'm not sure because I played another game, which I went into detail a little bit on, Galaxy Carts, without even going into details of the game. That also has that slight PSVR blur to it. And that's so far down the list of problems. To be honest, that's probably a highlight. That's probably a.
Oh, damn.
I think you're right. I think you're right though, with the devs wanting to make sure they get everything 90, like native 90. But like we played a game at GDC. It's a brand new game called
Crossfire
Sierra Squad.
Yeah.
That was now, and we were very particular to ask them. This demo absolutely blew me away. It's one of the best looking games I have ever seen. And we were very specific to ask them, like, what is this running? And they were like, the demo is running 60 reprojected to 120, but they said they would release the game at native 90, and it already looked freaking AAA amazing.
Yeah.
So that game right there, and that just makes me think that the devs can do these things if they want to do these things, because that game is graphically intense. If you can make native 90 on that game, you can do it on any game. Doesn't matter what it is.
Plus, it also shows you that the devs, they've got the message that native 90 needs to be the standard, and because you're starting to hear all these developers before this game's how far away, and they're like, yeah, it's native 90. Like they want people to know, like, we've realized, I think anyway, that that reprojection is just not a good idea. So
I think I'm being trolled in chat. They're telling me that the Tarzan devs made Galaxy Kart.
That's true.
They
kind of.
Well,
they didn't make it, but they
Right.
ported it.
Right.
They helped port it to the Quest.
And
And they didn't even originally port the first Tarzan to the Quest. They
Yeah.
actually came and they redid the original port that was super terrible that everyone pooped all over, and they made it better.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I actually heard that is a much better version of the game as well. So that's fine. Galaxy Kart will be uploaded via 2023 Game of the Year. It's possible.
It could be.
Apparently,
Funny fact, GT. We were sitting at dinner with that entire
awkward.
team right after they saw your review.
This was the most awkward dinner I've
Ooh.
It
ever
was
had.
so awkward. And it wasn't just you. Everyone was shitting all over the game. And
And they were getting
eating,
updates
and they were just like, yeah, it
Oh.
was
during dinner.
super interesting.
Very nice people.
I want to know more.
Very
Super
I wanna know more.
interesting is not a good way
Yeah,
of putting it.
what happened?
man.
Well, they were a little sad, They just like anyone, they make something and people didn't like it, so they were a little bummed out. But they didn't have anything bad to say about anyone or anything. They were just literally, trying to figure out, I think, really what they could do to make it better, which is great.
They just stop eating and push their plates away. And
Someone threw up.
Yeah.
I will say, like, even for GT's, review, which was harsh, it was a harsh review. They did say that there was points that were fair and that they were going to work on them, and I hope they will.
Oh,
Right. I mean, they
dear.
must be aware, right? Like they've played good VR games and then they play theirs and they can see a difference, right? So they must know most of what these people say and just like cross their fingers, like maybe we'll get away with this, maybe we'll get away with that. I don't know. We'll see.
That's what it. Do you
And-
know what? That's what it kind of felt like, Alex. And I don't. And they proved me wrong. Like, basically, I said, is it possible to get a key for this game? And they were like, yeah, we'll send you a key. It didn't work. And then they sent me another key and it didn't work. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just buy it. Because I really want to see what it's like. Because as I said openly, I did some play testing on it, gave them some feedback. And that was like a month ago. And the guy's like, yeah, we've got new tracks coming, got this stuff happening. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I really want to check this out on PSVR 2 because I think the cars look nice. I think it looks okay. Like there's like nice animations there and stuff. And then, I mean, they did implement some of the things I said. Thank God. Like before that, it was such a confusing experience. But they just made some really weird decisions again, and the game hadn't changed. It was just the same. It's 4 tracks. It's like, what is it? How much is that game? $20? Is it? No. Is it?
I think it is. Yeah, 15. I think it's probably £15. 19.99 American.
Like I don't know. 4 tracks. Just anything with 4 tracks. Like I don't know if you could go.
It's like Mario Kart coming out with just the mushroom cup.
It's just
If
it's just a DLC of Mario Kart.
If it was
like,
amazing, like just phenomenal, and you knew more was coming, yeah. Like
How many
talk
tracks
about
did
mini
Dash
golf
Dash
is-
launch?
it was definitely more than that for sure.
Was
But
it?
they
Yeah.
did that
'Cause
was
I
the
know they
most-
added a lot. Think about
They
it.
tested
Because
so much on that game.
like multiplayer, I remember multiplayer in Dash Dash was originally like 4 people, and then they
Well,
made it 8
yeah.
afterwards.
but you got to remember though that a lot of those early Dash games were beta tests. Like they didn't launch for years.
That
They
is
beta
true,
tested that
actually.
game,
that is true.
and then
yeah.
when it launched, it was amazing.
It was
Yeah.
really good. That game is unfairly ignored. It's such a shame. They done so much right with that loop to loops. The tracks are brilliant. They added more stuff and it just died again. I think sometimes games are too early on different platforms and stuff. But yeah, when it comes to Galaxy Karts, yeah, like as I said, the worst thing you can do in that game was win. And that's the whole idea of it. You know what I mean? Once you get out in front, you were just bored. It didn't matter what level of experience or difficulty. Once you got in first, you were like, oh man, I'm just gonna be like going round and round, waiting to finish. And it was it was a shame. But the developer was really nice, and but that must have been really crazy sitting there at that meal.
It was weird.
How did you know?
What happened is it wasn't just them, because Wes was like, holy crap, I'm looking at a GT. We were sitting in the B&B and Wes was like, oh, I'm putting on GT's review, and I sat there and listened to it with him. That was in the morning, and all of a sudden we found ourselves at dinner with them that night. But it wasn't just you. Like during the entire dinner, they would be like, oh, we got a good review, and then they'd be like, oh, we just got another bad review.
Oh,
it was like this, up and
God.
down. Like it was weird.
Man.
Well,
That's-
these developers need to realize they're making games for people. At least think of it this way: that somebody that just put the headset on, that just came from playing the best AAA game that's out there, flat. Imagine that person putting on the headset and then wanting to stay into VR longer than 3 months. You know what I mean? Like I just read that article recently that was saying that's why they're struggling. Why there's the retention is they're realizing that the early adopters of VR, the ones that were enthralled with climbing a fucking ladder, it's not enough anymore. You know what I mean? You need to have a game that's fun to play.
That's well said, man.
That's just crazy.
There was a game called Rage Room on PC VR, and that one went on YouTube and stuff. And I remember like hearing about it and thinking, from someone who didn't make content, like Rage Room looks really cool. And then I played it, and I was like, even in like 2018, I was like, this game is bullshit. Like this game, I don't know why it's popular on PC, why anyone thought it'd be a good idea to even carry on like developing this for anything else. It was awful. And it's to your point, Roots, like what you're saying about it was one mechanic of beating something up in VR, which no one basically had ever done before, as far as I know. So that's what it was. You know, it was the first of its kind. So everyone's like, wow, this is amazing. You can like shoot dummies. Wow. Like you said, climbing a ladder. Wow. So yeah. Madness.
Can I show
Yeah,
something off really quick
What is
that
it? It's not
that I
rude, is it?
traveled with for multiple days?
Oh yeah.
Oh, this was awesome.
What does that say? Mighty Coconut.
Yeah, I
That's
got
really
this
cool.
in Austin at the Mighty Coconut Unreality Breakfast, where they gave everybody avatars, and there's the Mighty Coconut avatar sitting on the table. Jasmine was eyeballing it, and I'm like, oh, I don't think so. How? Boom, got that on my head. And as I was leaving, I'm like, yo, I don't have to give this back, right? And they're like, nah, you can have it. I'm like, yeah. So there it is. The Mighty Coconut avatar is mine. And they announced at that event their collaboration with Meow Wolf. And if you know me
Yeah.
at a personal level, you know how much I fucking love Meow Wolf. So this to me is a amazing collaboration. I can't wait to see what they do.
I
They're
don't
doing
know.
AR with it, I think,
I
right?
don't know what that is.
Meow
Or
Wolf
MR.
is a
I'm looking it up.
it's a company that creates these huge psychedelic interactive art exhibits.
I'm looking.
And
You said there's one in Denver, right?
there's one in Denver, there's one in Albuquerque, and I'm going there next month actually to go check it out. My wife and I are hopping on a plane and gonna go check out the Meow Wolf over there.
Wow,
And
that
then
is so
there's one
cool.
in Vegas.
That
And
is
the one
so
in
cool.
Vegas is called Omega Mart. And if you are ever in Vegas, people, I cannot recommend it enough. It is so badass. I spent like 6 hours there and could have stayed there longer if my wife wasn't getting so hangry while we were there. But it's like, it is no joke, like as immersive as a VR game, in my opinion. And super interactive and just like mind bending. And they are like pushing the limits in terms of like art and exhibits and stuff like that. So the stuff they're going to do with Walkabout is probably going to be amazing. And they're also talking about having like a physical space that correlates with the virtual putt course. So you could like do them simultaneously, you know, where they could pop the headset off and you're in one area and then you do the thing and put the headset back on and do a thing. So I don't know. I'm stoked. It was a cool event to be a part of. There was a lot of really awesome people there that I wasn't expecting to see, and had a really good time.
That's one of the best
Yeah, I
things
think-
about events, man, is just meeting people. You know, it's,
I think that was one of the best things we've done over the past couple of weeks was that event.
That was
Being at a mini golf course and having the Walkabout mini golf music, the soundtrack playing as we were playing, you know. and
that's
then
wicked.
each hole was kind of themed after one of the courses. And, you know, we were playing with like, you know, like Andrew Ike, CEO of Alchemy Labs, you know, Ian from Upload and, you know, the Walkabout guys themselves, you know, there was like
Paul
so
Brady from
many
Resolution was there.
resolution. Yeah. Like a whole squad of resolution people were just playing mini golf, you know, looking for the hidden balls, just like in the game.
It was cool.
It was
The
phenomenal.
Arbory team was there. The Arbory team
Yeah.
from Pixel Rip. They were
Yeah,
there.
you
There
got
was
to
a
meet
lot of cool
Anna.
people there.
You've obviously met Anna
Oh,
before,
Anna's
some of
amazing.
you anyway. But is that your first time meeting her, Mash?
I think I met her one time before at another event, but this was the first time I like got a chance to like hang out with her and just like, you know, do something. Like we hung out at like a party later, but we got to go to the suite and like, you know, demo the game and did a great interview with her.
Can you
Yeah,
talk about the
sure, and
game? Can you tell us about the demo?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
this
it's
is
super cool.
was it
They're
Pixel Rip 1979? Is it or something? Or
1978. Yeah.
1978.
Yeah.
No, 1 year out. You're going.
But it's, what's cool about it, and what's different than all the other Pixel Rip games, is this is a true full-blown Atari is producing this game. So it's not like, fake Nintendo, fake PlayStation. This is Atari, all, logoed and everything. Atari is fully behind this. And I got to say, the Atari rep that was there seemed like they was super jazzed to be doing VR. And I could see Atari, you might see Atari do some other games in VR after this if it's successful, which I hope it is. And the fucking game is so cool, man. If you remember Atari in any way, this will like just immediately bring you back in, from the music to the controls to everything. And then demoing on a PlayStation VR 2, which is amazing, and to feel the haptics and the triggers and everything that comes with the PlayStation VR 2, super cool, man. And she stayed in cosplay, I think, the whole freaking weekend.
She loves cosplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope they bring the other ones though to PSVR 2. Is there any talk of that at all?
I
Yeah,
didn't
they-
even think to ask, but you know they will.
Yeah, I asked, I said kind of no comment, but they were hopeful.
Nice, dude. That is so cool. Because I think, like, to be fair, Pixel Rip to me, they've never had like much instant replayability. Like, I don't play through them and then go, right, I'm going to start it again. I don't go back to them year after year. But as a game at the time, I think I think they're fucking brilliant. I love that Inception moment, like being in a game, playing a game. I love all that.
I actually do go back to Pixel Ripped.
Yeah.
Like I'm someone who like will play a handful of games like just because they like make me feel good. Like I will play Super Mario Bros. 3 or Sonic 2 at any point. I just love those games, and they like make me feel like, I don't know. It's like some people watch Friends, to like get that feeling of like just comfort and safety. So like I feel like that when I'm playing Super Mario Brothers 3. I feel like that when I'm playing Sonic 2, and I honestly feel like that when I play Pixel Ripped also. Like just to be able to sit down and just like play like a 2D game in VR and just like kind of be immersed and chill in and see my virtual little kid feet kick in. Like if I'm like feeling like, I don't know, if I like have the place to myself and I'm feeling like lonely or like a little down or something like that, I can play Pixel Ripped and like vibes are back on point.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try
yeah.
that. I do wonder whether a lot of people that are in VR now haven't played those games. I mean, Pixel Rip's quite old, isn't it? The original.
They might not even know they exist.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I brought up in the interview. I was like, hey, there's a lot of people that haven't probably played these games that are new people into VR that should get back into these games. So, it'd be a great idea for you to, try and make sure you do this. And I think they will. I said they wouldn't commit to an answer, but I think they will.
Did you meet Shuei?
No, that'd be awesome.
You didn't meet Yoshida?
No. Was he there? I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was
Did you see
there.
him, Wes?
He was with Anna as well in that same room you would have been.
No.
Oh
You
man,
didn't see him, Mash? You missed
No,
the
was he
opportunity,
hiding?
bro. He was hiding.
Damn
dude.
it, Skiba, were you hogging Shuhei and Shida?
Had him in my pocket.
They were standing behind Skiva. You just couldn't see him.
he was at. We have a thing called WASD in the UK, like an indie gaming thing, and he was at it last year, and I saw on his like Twitter feed that he'd been there, but he was only there the day before. So the closest I could get to being near him was eating at the same place he ate. I was like, I want to meet him
But
so
you've
bad.
done it, though. You've done it. You've eaten at the same place. How's it feel?
That means fuck all. Do you know what I mean?
Alex Skiba and I got snubbed by Reggie Fiame from
from Nintendo of
From Nintendo.
America.
Yeah.
Used to be the president of
bummer.
Nintendo of
yeah,
America.
Reggie. What, you got snubbed by him? What do you mean?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we saw him.
He completely
like,
big lead us.
Alex, I bet you lost your shit though, dude.
Yeah, it's very rare that I'll just like walk up to someone like that and be like, can I please have a photo with you like right now? And I did not hesitate with him. Like he was there talking to Kit and Crystal. They used to do Nintendo Treehouse, which is like on YouTube, just like a Nintendo show, but official Nintendo YouTube. Anyway, he was there like talking to Kit, and the whole time I'd like seen Kit walking around town and stuff. I'm like, oh no shit, he's here. That's cool. And we were outside the press room getting ready to like go off to start doing our interviews for the day or something. And was this GDC last year?
It was AWE then, I think.
No, it's PAX
AWE?
West.
It was PAX
Oh,
West.
Oh wow.
PAX West,
Holy
right.
shit.
So we saw him outside of the press room, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Reggie. like my body is ready. That is Reggie.
I'm so here
And-
with you, man. I'm here with
yeah,
you.
it was super, super hype. So they're like, I'm like trying to be like, I don't want to like attack him or anything, you know. I'm like kind of like feeling out the vibe of the conversation that he's having with Kit. And I can start to see that it's like getting ready to wrap up. So I cruise up and I'm just like, hey dudes, can we please get a photo real quick right now? And Kit's like, yes, let's do it. And Reggie's like, no, we're not doing that. We're busy. We gotta go.
No.
Completely
And
Dr.
took off.
Disrespect with Nacy. Alex.
Yeah. And we were like, okay, we get it. Goodbye, but damn it.
Oh, that
cool.
is.
You were that close, man.
Mhm.
If I was
Yeah.
there, I would have said, no, Reggie, you're doing
You're
this.
doing
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
In his face.
I would've.
Oh, yeah.
I was like cowering in his like
No,
tower
that's
shadow.
not right.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
I know. And Kit said yes, so I was extremely hyped. And Reggie was just like, no, we're not doing that.
Oh, I feel so bad.
He
for
said, "Do you
man.
know who I am?" You're
Yeah.
wasting
Literally, it was
time.
cool because literally it was just like the four of us in the hallway or whatever. It was just like nobody was there. It would have been like the perfect time.
Do you know what I love
Uh-huh.
is that it must when I imagine to Reggie, Alex looked like a 15, 16-year-old kid then as well. I bet he had all his glimmery eyes and everything. How could he have said that to you, man?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
didn't know if he knew who Alex was, knew him personally, he'd been like, "Hell yeah, dude."
The thing is,
I
Reggie knows
know.
he's better than him. That's the thing. He knows.
I've been like trying to like bury and repress this memory for a
Oh, and I
while,
brought
and
it
you
back
guys are
up,
just
dude.
kicking it back
Stirring
up for
it.
me, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So before we close out the show, have you guys met any of your heroes before? Like, is there anyone you've met and been like, wow,
Palmer Lucky.
Palmer
I met
Lucky.
Palmer Lucky.
really? Yeah. I saw the
Yep.
pictures. Yeah,
I
Palmer
met
Lucky.
I met Pantera a bunch of times, White Zombie, Slayer, System of a Down.
Cool.
I don't know.
System
met
of a Down is so good.
Danzig. I met Danzig and Sepultura. I met Mick Foley once. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
At the mall.
Mankind.
Yeah, at the mall. He was just at the mall walking around.
It's what people do. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, you know,
Yeah.
just living their life. What are you doing here? Just shopping. What?
I met Sadliest Bradley a couple times.
Oh my
Get out.
god,
No
dude,
way.
how cool!
What's
Yep,
that
I did.
like? What's it like to meet him?
It's he big leagued me a couple times too, but
Oh, what?
Yeah.
he's busy. He's a busy guy.
You're killing him. We need
He's melting.
He's melting. Yeah. Oh no, he's gone. He
He's
actually
like, "I'm
does,
out."
I believe actually he would like to go because he does want to get back into VR. He's been out for a very long time.
I know he's challenging.
I will say,
I
at
will say I'm
OC6
buying that headset now because of him.
I want to
it,
buy that headset.
it looks
now.
good.
I think-
I went to OC6 and rest in peace, Oculus Connect, whatever. I was walking around like the pre-event. There was like a night before like happy hour reception thing. And while I was there, I like cruised across the room and I saw Beat Games, like Jan and what's her name, dude? I can't believe it.
Mikkel? Is it Mikkel?
Yeah.
Same.
Either way,
yeah.
I saw Beat Games there, and I was like, wow, like that's the Beat Saber team. Holy crap, like that's like the biggest VR game in the world. And I cruised over to them, and I was there like fresh interviewer, really hadn't done like the microphone interview thing a lot before that. And when I approached them, I was like, hey, I'm here, huge fan of the game, blah, blah, blah. I'm grabbing interviews for my channel this week. And if you guys would be down, I would love to like be able to grab an interview with someone from your team, while we're here. And they were like, can we do that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to do that. That's cool. Sounds good. I'm like, okay, awesome. I'll hit you up later, I guess. And then like left. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, like, did I just squander that? Like, did I like put it off and like now it's going to be impossible to get them? And the next day comes and the keynote starts and Zuckerberg walks out on the stage and he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm Zuckerberg. This stuff is going down. It's going to be great. And then he leaves. A few people come on, and then who else comes on is them, the Beat Games team, like now on the stage at the keynote. And I'm like, oh God, like there's no way I'm going to get these guys now. But I like sent a couple DMs to Jan, the head developer, and he pinged me back and he's like, how about, I was like, hey man, is there any time that I could like catch you? And he's like, how about right now in front of room 227? I'm like, yes. And like sprinted over there and grabbed the interview with him. And he was like one of the nicest dudes in the world, like so awesome to chat with. And that is like one of those moments for me for sure, where I was like starstruck when I saw them.
Did you show them your stuff? Did you jump into Beat Saber and like show them how good you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I did not, but I did have a good chat with them. At the time I was using like those Beat Saber extender things where you can like plug your Quest controllers into this like third-party 3D printed piece.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what do you think about these? Like, or like the Darth Maul stuff. Like, do you down for people like augmenting the controllers to play the game, and like if they're setting high scores by using third-party peripherals, like, is that cheating or is that fly as far as you're concerned, and he's like, no, we're cool with it. Maybe we should look into doing something first party, who knows? But obviously nothing like that has ever happened.
And that was the last time they ever put any thought into their game ever again.
Yeah. Well, at least I was there for it.
That's right.
It's fucking
You think
awesome.
you're better than me?
Maybe one day you'll see the light, Mash.
I did get a chance to see Alex do his moves and Jasmine.
Hold on,
their
do you not
moves.
like Beat Saber, Mash?
I'm not a fan of Beat Saber now.
Oh my god. Okay. Like, I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
I'm a fan of what it did for VR. I'm not a fan of to me, I think it's a boring game. It's like
You're slicing blocks though, bro.
it's
With
like blocks,
lightsabers.
dude.
Yeah, with
Woo!
lightsabers in VR.
You can change the colors too. Did you know?
Whoa,
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute. You can change the colors of the blocks.
Yeah.
Well, hold
Dude,
on, let me
Lincoln,
fix
the
that now.
Lincoln Park soundtrack in Beat Saber is one of the best packs, I think, personally. I guess it's a bit like Synth Riders. It depends on your music taste as well, because a lot of the times Beat Saber, I liked the original. I think I was part of the WoW factor back then, but I do agree with you. Beat Saber's not one I put time into. I don't really
Ever.
play it. Yeah. But they've had some really cool updates to that game, like 360 mode. They've now got a multiplayer mode. There's a lot of great stuff going on there.
Yeah,
It
The
is,
remember
and-
that-
multiplayer is so bad though.
No, it's
It's-
not. It's
bad.
it's
They
better
don't
than
even
all
have
the
audio.
other
You
rhythm
can't even
games.
talk. You can't even talk to anybody in their multiplayer.
Just join a party. It's not a
What-
big deal.
What? Well, why do I have to? And have you joined an Oculus party and seen how jank that shit is? Like,
Okay,
why,
I'll give you
why can't
that.
I go into Synth Riders and just play and talk to everybody that's
But
in
in
there?
Synth
Let it be
Riders, you
native
have
and
no
then-
avatar presence. There's no.
Yeah, but
I, don't
I
feel
need to
like
see
I'm
what's
standing
coming
next
at
to
me. I
them.
don't need to see what I just as long as I can talk to them, I feel like I'm there. And
Yeah.
Synth Riders has the challenge mode where you can throw modifiers at people. You got that in Beat Saber?
You don't
Beat Saber's
need it.
so fucking lazy.
So-
Beat Games is the laziest developer I've ever seen. They're like
No.
cashed in, dude. They're just
No,
cashed
no,
in.
no,
They're
no,
like,
no,
we're
no,
done.
no.
We're done.
No.
Let's go throw
Beat
some fucking
Saber-
music packs
Beat
in there and be
Saber
done.
it's like expression. Okay, it's like learning how to play an
How much
instrument.
thought do you think they put in their game in the last 4 years?
That's like saying people aren't putting thought into like guitars, like obviously people are, but like it's like saying playing guitar is boring because you just pick it up and do the same thing every day. Like it's expression. You're like feeling things through the movements that you're doing, like it's like calling chess repetitive. It's like it's the same board, but like there's so much expression and so much
Bringing up
happens
the
that while
worst
you're in there.
examples to make your
Oh God, I'm out of here.
See you guys.
I can't reason with you, Mash.
But we still love each other. That's all that matters.
Dude, I love you dearly. You're one of the best dudes ever. You're just not very smart.
And on that bombshell, thank you
Oh
ever
my
so much
God.
to everyone for watching. Thanks to all the guys turning up for the show today. I really appreciate it. I've missed you over the last couple of weeks. So it's really good to get you all back together.
Yeah, this is fun. Thanks for making sure that we get together and do this stuff. March is crazy, right? A lot of us have been traveling a lot, and it's not over yet, but I am looking forward to things planning out and making sure that we're on track for weekly episodes.
I just wanted to shout out Alex for keeping the ship so clean and tidy while Skiva's gone, because they were.
Thank you.
You know,
It looks
discussing
really
that
clean.
earlier.
It looks really
Yeah.
clean.
Thanks. I noticed you got some of the dust off that ledge behind you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can. I sit around, I think about Skiva, and then I like start fixing things up. Getting ready for him to come home.
I don't know. Flash a blue light in that place. I want to see what's really going on.
Wearing putting his maid's outfit on. Oh, thinking about Skiva. Start polishing.
just dusting.
Have you ever hit an asteroid in that ship?
Where
Mm,
our first ship got taken out, crashed.
Oh God.
Oh,
remember that.
You weren't there though.
No,
we
we
were-
were.
we were
We
there.
got invaded by a robot that was. I don't know if you
Oh, yeah.
guys, anyone wants to go back and watch the last episode of season 1. Yeah, and a robot came on and took over all our comms and crashed our ship, and then we had to go find this thing.
That was when
It's
you
been
used
holding
to,
up great.
That was when you used to do a lot of like drugs on the show, though, wasn't it? So did that actually
Yeah, we were
happen?
like shooting heroin on the show.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we did that.
doing crystal. Oh, excellent. Right, guys, thank you ever so much. I hope you have a great week and enjoy yourselves. And yeah, thank you everyone in chat again. Really appreciate you showing up. And see you next week. Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
Love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.